Hello everyone out there in the Megaverse. I'm your friendly neighborhood techno wizard. This is a channel about the Palladium universe, specifically Rifts Earth for now. I'm going to go over that basic book. In this episode today, I am going to go over psionics, the basics, nothing too in-depth. But with that being said, please like, share, subscribe, get the message out, tell your friends, tell your enemies. All right, so let's get into this. Psionics in the game of Rifts are mental. It is your mental endurance that gives you this power. You can mentally endure, you have the mental focus, you have the mental ability to stretch yourself. You can do things. These are amazing powers, and there's a few categories of psionic. There is master, that means you've devoted most of your life up until now into developing those abilities and making sure that they work. You get a phenomenal amount of abilities, but you tend to rely on them too. There's also major. Major is not master. You have some impressive abilities, but not as good as a master. And you pretty much usually have some other job, and the psionics just add to your abilities. And then there's minor psionic. Minor psionics are people who, for lack of a better term, have one or two. It's like that person in the group who just has a bad feeling, has like danger, something bad's about to happen, man. That kind of thing. They usually are kind of helpful, but not really all that impressive. You know, whereas a master psionic burster can shoot flames and curl flames around them and control flames. A minor psionic can, Is there somebody in the room with us? That kind of thing. So, there are a few ways of determining psionics. Like I said, the first one is you pick Master Psionic. You are that character, you roll down that OCC, you pick your abilities, you pick your psionic abilities, you pick all that kind of stuff. You're in that character, you have all those abilities. You know, Zapper, you can shoot electricity. And they're very specific ones, and I'll go over each individual OCC one at a time. Major and minor, the GM can kind of say, okay, I'm going to balance out the campaign, if you want, I'll make you a major. And you can talk to the GM and do that if you want. The other way is, well, it's a game, so we roll dice. The first roll in this one is here. You roll a percentile dice. That's 1 to 100. You roll that, you've got a 10% chance of being a major psionic. That gives you the ability to either pick 8 in one category. Now, real quick, the categories of psionic abilities are as follows. Sensitive, physical, healer. Then super psionic. If you're a major psionic, you only get to pick from the 3. You don't get to pick a super psionic ability. You have a fairly high amount of ISP, and ISP is the energy that you use. I'll go over that a little bit more later. Now, if you roll a 25, what is it? Here it is. Yeah, if you roll an 11 to 25, your character randomly has minor psionics. You only get 2 abilities. They usually tend to be out of these categories. They have to be from 1. So if you were like a doctor and you had a minor psionics, psychic diagnosis might be good, or just dead in pain, the ability to touch somebody and stop them from hurting. Other, or minor healing or bioregeneration itself might be good. All right, so like I said, and if you roll 26 or above on the percentile dice, sorry, lucked out, no psionic abilities. All right, so like I said, it's kind of interesting. Let's do a little test here. All right, so what you would have is this. Say you're rolling up your character, and by the way, there are characters that innately come with psionic abilities or have a greater chance of being a psionic, and that's covered in each individual OCC, RCC, or anything. And those are specific rules I'll go over when I go over those OCCs, hopefully here in the near future. Unless I get working like I think I'm going to, and then, sorry guys, you won't hear from me for a long time. But say we're rolling up a rogue scholar. By the way, a rogue scholar can be played really cool. More about that later. But here we go. We roll percentile dice. 93. Nope, I am no psionic abilities. Try doing that again for added flair. 40. No psionic abilities. And yeah, no, I don't. None of the characters I just rolled up have any psionic abilities. However, if I did, you get to pick from those 3 categories. And now here's the thing. When you get to be a psionic character, you get something called ISP. Most people have at least, I would always estimate people have 1 or 2 points of this. There's just internal strength points, as they call them. It's determined by your ME, your mental endurance, your ability to mentally control. That's what mental endurance is. It's your mental ability to control yourself, to deal with tragedy, to deal with psionics in this case. It gives you a certain number, and depending on what you roll or what you pick as a master, minor, or major, you get a certain number of ISP, internal strength points. These are not like magic because you can't grab them from somebody else. You can't draw them from the universe. They are yours and yours alone. So yeah, when I get into magic, there'll be a whole section on how to gather PPE, which I might just break off into one little thing. But you get additional ISP per turn or per level. It builds like your character builds. And that's kind of one of the things of advancing, getting XP. You get more power, more ability to use your powers. The abilities are all internal, and like I said, if you have a character you really want to be a psionic and you pick a master psionic, my highest score, my highest roll on any of my abilities, the one that I would ask to reroll if it was really bad, would be ME, because that determines a lot of psionic ability. So you get a lot of them like that. All right, so I'm going to go through, show you just a smattering of the powers. These are the basic powers in the basic book. They basically come to this. So here it is. You have healing. Healing is all the bioregeneration, dead psionics, exorcism, healing touch, those kind of things. They're really neat little abilities to have if you're the healer of the group. Now, if you, like I said, if you were a major and you were a doctor, you would lose, I think, some of your secondary skills, like some of the bonuses, but you would gain a lot. Like if you had 8 abilities in here, you could pick psychic diagnosis. That means you just touch somebody and broken leg, touch somebody and time to get a shot. That would give you an amazing sort of edge over other players and other people in the universe. Physical is it's what it is. Physical, dead and ectoplasm. Ectoplasm is really cool because it's like basically, think Ghostbusters. And mind block, night vision. Telekinesis is one of the bigger ones you use because you can always grab and punch and push things. Sensitive, now this is the one that I really like because it really helps out a group figure out things. Like I said, I do adventure campaigns and builder campaigns. Figuring out things is one of the bigger things you got to do. If you don't know why the guys disappeared, you can't find out where they are, or you can't find out what they were looking for. So things like presence sense, I sent somebody in the room with us. Object read, you touch something, you get to see what's going on. And by the way, that can be a double-edged sword. I've done that to player characters before. Those are your basic categories. Then there's super science. These are the ones that are uber overpowered. These are the, whoa, the ones that would make somebody back up. Like hydrokinesis, you can move water around. It'd be really great if you're fighting vampires. Electrokinesis, full-on super bioregeneration, you regrow your arm. Telekinetic force field. Psionic invisibility is actually a really good one if you want to be kind of a sneaky character. I guess the most pronounced one would be Psi Sword. Basically, and you've got a lightsaber. Now, the Cyberknights get this one automatically, but you can actually get it if you have other things, and it takes a little time. There's restrictions on it. So, that being said, that's the basic rundown on psionics in this universe. It is very fun, very interesting, very unique concept. If you want to think about this one way, think about psionics on the level of like Babylon 5 and Bester and the Psi Corps. Or there have been other shows, I'm trying to narrow it down in my head, where somebody had extrasensory abilities. X-Men is a primary example. Certain people could move things with their minds, certain people could pull things. Magneto wouldn't really have been a psionic, he just was a mutant. But like Professor X. Like the guy in the group who always, I got a bad feeling, and then something bad happens. That guy probably is a minor psionic. So you can play it that way when you think about it. All right. That being said, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I finally think I broke 60 subscribers. That's awesome. I'm feeling good. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, share the channel, and enjoy gaming. I mean, that's kind of the point of this whole thing. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Play the way you want to play. All right? And like I've always said, I actually do know Chad the Man.